WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American in Germany tasting rare and exotic whiskeys. Today I'm in Ireland. Today I have Black's Irish whiskey, named after Sam and Maudlene Black from Kinsale, Ireland. Black's Distillery, and this is the Black Ops Extra Char Cask Black Whiskey, batch number 1, bottle number 1988, with 43% non-chilled, filtered, and no color added. So a composite cork, okay, and you always have here the bird on here. They said it's a crow, which I'm not sure about. And the interesting thing about the crow is also here you see all the cogs on the crow, which should signify the adventurous entrepreneurial spirit of the uprising company. Ooh. Over here in Germany, 34 euros, 35 euros. Whiskey base number 141623. When you go to Whiskey Base as well as to the website for the Black Brewery, they don't have the distillery up yet and running, at least not now in the summer of 2020. You will see there's actually a 12-year-old, which is very, very interesting. The distillery came from, the distilling equipment came from Italy. Right before the Corona crisis, the distillery was installed, but yet not commissioned. And so there are a little bit of that leeway during this time that the people from Italy are trying to help them remotely get the distillery up and running, which is not the best case situation. So if I read the bottle here, it says Black's Black Ops Irish whiskey is a carefully blend of malt and grain whiskey, matured in extra deep charred bourbon oak barrels, for an extra smooth, extra dark black whiskey, non-chilled, filtered, bottled at 43%. They like the word extra. All right, now I have done an Irish whiskey, this Irish whiskey in my German video already, and it was very difficult to find a whiskey that was similar. There's the Flaming Pig with a black cask. It's not the same. There's a Kinahans with a cask project. It's still not the same. Okay, we also have here a Peaky's Blender, which is a little bit of a different composition. I'm going to try this and see if it's almost the same, and then we have one last contender. Good. Now, the Peaky Blender is a sourced whiskey, triple distilled, aged in sherry casks. There are certain days where I love it, and certain days I'd like to throw it out the window. I don't know if it's me or if it's whiskey, but it changes a lot, and it's one of those borderline whiskeys that's manic. It can be great, and it can be terrible within a week. So I get bacon bits here, which I think is that extra char cask. This was matured in sherry and bourbon beforehand. And everything Black's does, they want to put a spin on it. Similar, missing a little bit of that extra finish. Very similar. All right, wait. Now the question is, where does Sanders get their whiskey from? It's triple distilled, so it's probably not Cooley. So the question is, how can grain be triple distilled? But that's one of the questions we're not going to answer today. Is it West Cork? They can also do triple distill if they want. And also we have Great Northern Distillers now that actually offered also sourced whiskeys for people out there. Bushmills, maybe, probably not. Middleton, probably not. So let's try this. They're almost the same, and then at the end there's this nice little finish towards the end here with that bacon bits. And there's also, of course, Jameson Black Barrel, which is a totally different thing. But I'm kind of content that took me from the very beginning. It's like, oh, this almost the same. This is almost, oh, we have to try this, we have to try that, we have to try that. And then, okay, very, very good. So Sandler, if anyone knows where Sandler gets their product from, I would bet that it's the same as what the Black Apps got their product from. And they just finished it in this extra char bourbon cask. Which one do I prefer? Peaky Blinder, to be very, very honest. I'm not a big fan of my whiskey tasting like bacon, or even bacon bits. In my German video, I deleted this down to below 20%. It just got sweet. It didn't do much. There's nothing wrong with this whiskey. It just has a definite, unique twist. Sometimes a whiskey will speak to you and will say, oh, I need this and this. Maybe I need a little bit of a muscatel finish, or I need a sherry finish, or I need a red wine finish, or I need whatever. I have the feeling that they said, I don't care what the whiskey says. I'm going to put this in this barrel and just transform it. And that's what they did. They transformed this whiskey in a mightily massive way. Into something that's fundamentally different. And yet it's actually nice. I'm going to give this a C+. Value for money is more over here in Germany, a C-, with its 35 euros for a no age statement, 43%. But it's got something. If you want to have bacon bits with your bacon or with your whiskey, this is the thing I'd go for. This is actually great. Now, for all the guys out there that have done, for example, bacon and whiskey, or also pancakes and whiskey, this would be a wonderful breakfast Irish whiskey if you try that. Okay. Wow. Surprising. So, Black's Irish Whiskey Brewery, they have rum, the first rum actually made in Ireland. A spice rum, they have gin, a lot of different gins have been made in Ireland. And starting sometime at the end of 2020, they should be making their own spirit. And so also there you can be part of their cask program at the beginning. Ooh, let's see if Jason does that or not. I have, I think, 5 casks at the moment in Ireland, and I want to have a couple more. All right, Whiskey Jason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American over here in Germany, tasting rare and exotic whiskeys. Black's Irish Whiskey, Black's Up with 43% is different, definitely, but good, definitely. All right, thank you very much for watching. Like, subscribe, tell others. All the best. Whiskey Jason here. Bye-bye.